Welcome into KQ2's countdown to the Chiefs' first preseason game. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Roush.
And I'm Mitchell Riverall. For the next 30 minutes, we will bring you all you need to know ahead of tonight's preseason opener as the Chiefs take on the San Francisco 49ers. And the countdown begins right now.
First of all, let me just say that it's great to be back here in St. Joe at Missouri Western.
Defense, offense, as a team, we got to come together, right? That's why we're up here.
The only thing on my mind right now is getting off to a fast start, making plays, and continuing to lead my group. I think anything else takes away from who I am.
Test might want to.
I always get fired up with the 7-man sled, breaking it out, first day of pads, a little old school football, and then we go from there.
He's had that thing sitting there for about a good 40 years now. I don't even know how long. I got to ask him, when's the last time he shaved that sucker? The only picture I can find is him at BYU without one. And then he kind of looks like Chris Farley, R.I.P.
Came up here on the first day. I grabbed a Popeye's chicken sandwich, 3 chicken strips, a biscuit fry, and a 12-count nugget. And I still weigh like 292.
We've got a great group of both veteran and rookie players who are excited to take on the challenge of trying to get back to the Super Bowl.
We didn't end the season how we wanted to last year, so we have to find a way to get better so that we can find a way to end it how we would like this year.
This is the foundation of it, and you kind of work from here.
Because these are the days that help define those moments that build success later on in the season.
Heading into tonight's preseason game with the San Francisco 49ers, the Chiefs will play as many players as possible.
And getting these reps will be extremely important for this year for the guys trying to make the team. Head coach Andy Reid saying it will go like this. The ones will play the first quarter, second team will play the second quarter. We know how this goes. The threes and the fours, they'll play the second half, the third and the fourth quarter. With the guys lower on the depth chart fighting for spots on the 53-man roster. And a lot of them, they won't end up making the team. But Andy Reid says tonight's game a good opportunity to prove yourself.
This game will be important for them, getting some work. Next game, it'll decrease as it goes, but it's important that they get in and show. Then practice will be important. Remember, we make cuts after every game, Tuesday after every game. Yep.
Like Reid said, Tuesday's cut down will take the roster from 90 to 85. Then on August 24th, 5 more players cut. The big cut down date, August 31st, the Chiefs go from 80 down to the final 53-man roster. Of course, some of those guys cut might just end up back on the practice squad.
The Chiefs head out to visit the 49ers in a rematch of Super Bowl 54. The stakes nowhere near as high this time around, but the Chiefs wanted to get some solid work in from their first team group, especially the offensive line. All 5 ones that will potentially start Saturday protecting Mahomes for the first time. The league MVP says he just wants to see execution from the entire offense.
In and out of the huddle, making the right calls, getting the ball to my hand, making some plays happen. And then you would always like to score, but at the end of the day, I think if we're the communication, the procedures of in and out of the huddle with so many new guys, especially on that offensive line, I think that would be a win for me just throughout this first game.
How about the guys on the other side of the ball, the Chiefs' defense? Looking impressive on several different days of camp here in St. Joseph. Safety Tyron Matthews, one of the leaders of the defense, with a simple message to the young guys fighting for a spot on the 53-man roster.
Just play as hard as you can. It's no pressure at all. Like I tell them all, it's the same game they've been playing since most of them were 5 years old. Just go out there, have fun, understand your responsibilities, but just let it loose. Let the world know who you are.
Protecting Patrick Mahomes, the biggest focal point this offseason after the Buccaneers chased him around all the Super Bowl. General Manager Brett Veach getting to work finding replacements for a banged-up offensive line and expectations rather high for this new group.
Just communicating with that offensive line, like how they protect, trying to build that relationship, build that kind of comfort with them.
After Patrick Mahomes ran for his life in Super Bowl 55 against Tampa Bay, head coach Andy Reid and general manager Brett Veach made it a mission this offseason to rebuild the offensive line. And once it was all said and done, Reid was some hope for this new line.
That continuity, the communication, working together through different looks, functioning.
The Chiefs signing All-Pro guard Joe Thuney away from New England, traded for left tackle Orlando Brown. Rookie Lucas Niang can potentially fill the right tackle spot after sitting out 2020. Then the Chiefs drafted center Creed Humphrey and perhaps the steal of the draft, guard Trey Smith in the 6th round, with Smith saying he knows the players will be a lot faster than he's used to, but he's ready to turn the O-line woes around and help this team win.
Just knowing what the standard is and knowing that I have the opportunity to help this team, and be out there, I take that, in the highest amount of respect and doing what I do, make sure I do it well so everyone can be successful.
The new anchor of the offensive line, Orlando Brown, saying despite the 5 starters all playing together for the first time, they have been meshing well together.
Definitely gelling as a group, the 5 that have been up there for the past week or so. But, man, from an identity standpoint, we just want to be tough. You know what I mean? We want to be tough. We want to be consistent. We want to be physical, and we want to fly to the ball.
With this new group of linemen, the team is hoping Mahomes will see a new and improved protection when it comes time for game day.
For me, I always try to stay within the pocket, especially during training camp. I always feel like I can scramble, and that stuff can happen. We work on it, but, it can happen throughout the game. But let's work within the pocket, go through the reads, and see how the play's working.
Plenty more still to come as we count down the kickoff of the Chiefs' first preseason game, including Tyron Matthews, his contract status, and the impact he makes on this team.
And Patrick Mahomes, already a league MVP and Super Bowl MVP in his short career, doing a lot more for the Chiefs than just winning games. We'll take a look at Mahomes' global impact on the team.
Welcome back. Tyron Matthews quickly became a fan favorite in his first 2 years with the Chiefs, the All-Pro becoming a leader on the defense and an important part of this team's chemistry. But he's entering his 3rd and final year of the original contract he signed back in 2019. Lots of noise around the fact an extension hasn't been reached between the team and the All-Pro safety. Matthews saying publicly it doesn't bother him a deal wasn't done before training camp started. The Chiefs safety, Andy Reid, and Clark Hunt all weighing in on Matthews' status and desire to stay in Kansas City.
He said it when he came here. I just want to play, and that's where he's at. He loves it here. He just wants to play.
I know he's going to be at his very best this year. I've heard Tyron say that he would like to extend his career in Kansas City, and we feel the same way about that. Hopefully that'll work out. The timing's obviously uncertain.
That's the most important thing. It's not letting anything become a distraction. The only thing on my mind right now is getting off to a fast start, making plays, and continuing to lead my group. I think anything else takes away from who I am.
In 2 years with the Chiefs, Matthews racked up more than 130 tackles, 2 sacks, and 10 interceptions, including a career-high 6 INTs last season.
Tyron Matthews' impact on the team goes well beyond tackles, sacks, or interceptions. He's a locker room leader and a guy many across the defense turn to for help.
A 3-time first-team All-Pro safety, Tyron Matthews enters his 3rd season with the Kansas City Chiefs. And while his presence on the field is felt by the opposing offenses every week, his leadership in the locker room may be the biggest impact.
He's a great leader. He knows how to, give me tips and stuff to, just take out there on the field and kind of translate that to my game.
He wants a challenge. Like, he embraces the challenge. I might send him a video of himself and say, what do you think? I try to challenge him with what he's seeing. Sometimes I swear to God, he waits a little bit, lets the receiver beat him, and then plays catch-up because that's challenging him.
Matthews says he tries to find new ways to challenge himself in games and in practice, and even sometimes lays back from a receiver.
I guess it depends on what quarterback you're going against. Usually against Patrick, I try to play as honest as possible. I don't guess as much as I do with other guys.
And his message to the young defensive backs, have fun. It's the same game they grew up playing.
Like I tell them all, it's the same game they've been playing since most of them were 5 years old. Just go out there, have fun, understand your responsibilities, but just let it loose. Let the world know who you are.
And other defensive players admiring Matthews' game for years.
That's my guy, and being a lead for 6 years now, I always watch his game, and to be quite frankly, he watched me play too, so that's exciting when a guy like that say, yo, you can play football. So
yeah, Tyron is just a great leader, a great role model to have in the room. Just watching him in college, when I was in high school, just seeing how the type of ball player he was.
Still to come, the Chiefs feeling pretty optimistic about 2 young linebackers, and rightfully so.
After the break, we'll show you just how impressive they've been in training camp, especially the rookie from Mizzou. Stay tuned.
Every training camp, media, fans, teammates, coaches all get excited for the rookie class and the second-year guys coming back. Well, during the first few weeks of training camp, 2 linebackers making quite the impression.
Pretty positive first couple of weeks. I came here doing what I kind of plan out to do is learn and grow every single day, and so keep going with that.
Just a few weeks into his pro career, but rookie linebacker Nick Bolton already making an impact.
That's starting to come along a little bit. I feel more comfortable in the playbook. Like I said, Hitch, Ben, all those older guys, Willie, all helping me learn the playbook, and so that kind of instills confidence when you know what you're doing. You can kind of go out there and execute the game plan with a clear mind.
The guy listed above Bolton on the depth chart, Willie Gay, also standing out in the first few weeks of practice.
You have confidence as a player because you've been doing it your whole life, but when you can't prepare like you normally do, and you don't get that, you get a new playbook, confidence level goes down a lot. So having OTAs, having this good training camp that we're at right now, man, and learning even more boosted it up a lot.
It's been a tough week for the second-year linebacker, though, Gay being placed in concussion protocol, but making his way back out to practice. One of the more impressive plays at training camp so far coming from Bolton, the rookie linebacker from Missouri, intercepting Patrick Mahomes in 7-on-7.
Yeah, it's good to see those linebackers doing that. You're trying to fit the ball into the tight windows there, and for those guys to react the way they have, I think that does nothing but make us better.
Nick's a monster, man. Short, thick, fast. He'll hit you. He can cover you. Man, he's me, but shorter and a little wider.
Lots of practice reps and preseason reps to go, but head coach Andy Reid liking what he's seeing from his young linebackers.
They're making plays, and so I was curious to see how they would do the pads on with the run game coming at them, and I thought they did a nice job with that. Good instincts, like what I've seen, yeah.
On the first unofficial depth chart, Willie Gay listed as the starting linebacker, but has been in concussion protocol and limited in practice the last few days. His backup, of course, it's Nick Bolton out of Missouri.
We always see those 2 or 3 guys really stand out during a preseason game. Some guys show out during training camp, but here are my 3 players to watch for tonight.
With the first cut day of preseason on Tuesday, many Chiefs players trying to make an impact against the 49ers to keep a spot on the roster. Here are 3 players to watch for. Number 3, Darwin Thompson fighting for a spot at running back. A fan favorite to make the roster because of the extra work he has put in at training camp. One of the first down to camp and last one off the field. So expect him to make the most of his playing time on Saturday, hopefully putting that extra work in use. Number 2, Marcus Kemp, entering his 5th season, only 1 reception in 10 games last year with the Chiefs, and hasn't seen much playing time throughout his career on offense, but he hopes to.
I've had some good camps while I've been here. If I can carry that over through the season, through practices, then that's how you get on the field more.
He's built some chemistry this camp with backup quarterback Chad Henne, so we'll see if he can make some plays against the 49ers, catching passes from Henne and maybe even Patrick Mahomes. Number 1, the final player, rookie Cornell Powell, on the depth chart currently listed as competing for the 4th string wide receiver, but offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy says Powell is trending in the right direction. He is a rookie, so he does have time to improve, but with the amount of receivers sharing snaps with the 4s, he will need to make an impact.
Plenty more still to come as we count down the kickoff of the Chiefs' first preseason game, including Tyron Matthews, his contract status, and the impact he makes on this team.
And Patrick Mahomes, already a league MVP and Super Bowl MVP in his short career, doing a lot more for the Chiefs than just winning games. We'll take a look at Mahomes' global impact on the team. Welcome back. The Kansas City Chiefs love using Travis Kelce in various roles in the offense, lining up outside or in as a tight end. He's playing some of the best football of his career, but it doesn't mean Andy Reid doesn't want another versatile guy in the room. The Chiefs drafting Duke tight end Noah Gray in the 5th round with the 162nd overall pick. The 6'4", 240-pound tight end gives Patrick Mahomes another target, and Gray says it's great to be learning from the best in the league.
I just understand that I need to come out here and keep grinding and keep hitting the playbook and keep practicing hard. I think from a mentality standpoint, for me, it just means that I just got to keep out here and keep going to practice and keep doing the things that I know that I can do. Keep hitting that playbook as hard as I possibly can.
Gray is listed as the third tight end behind Kelsey and Blake Bell.
Just like we watch for individual players to make an impact in tonight's game, we also look for groups, situations, or opportunities too. Here are 5 things I'm looking for in tonight's game against the 49ers.
Number 5, the young linebackers. Nick Bolton, rookie out of Missouri, looking impressive in the first few weeks of training camp. Will his stock rise after this preseason game?
It's a dream come true. I'm very excited being here on the Kansas City Chiefs organization, playing for the state. Small town kid, never thought this would happen, so I'm excited. I'm treating it like my first game ever. Kind of got the pee-wee butterflies, and so I'm ready to get it going.
Number 4, the tight end room. It's getting a little crammed already with Travis Kelce and Blake Bell, and now there's Noah Gray, the rookie, and Jody Fortson, those two fighting for the third tight end spot. Andy Reid's offense loves using multiple tight ends. How will Gray look in his first NFL game?
Noah's done a nice job, yeah. Both he and Jody. I mean, that's good competition right there. So they're both playing very well.
I don't think there's anywhere else I'd rather be in the country to be able to learn under Travis Kelce, one of the best tight ends in the league.
Number 3, no more Sammy Watkins, so who takes over the number 2 receiver spot? Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, could be somebody else, or it could be just Andy Reid spreading the wealth around.
Yeah, I've done it different ways, So when Sam was here, he was that guy. But we've also done it by committee, which we did when Sam couldn't play. We moved people around.
Number 2, Chris Jones at defensive end. It will be limited reps against the 49ers, but how will Jones look on the outside? We know he's chomping at the bit to give it a shot.
I feel good rushing off the edge, okay? Listen, hey, I know it's year 6, I'm a little old. I'm a veteran in the room, but I feel so good rushing off the edge.
And number 1, the offensive line, anchored by newcomers Orlando Brown and Joe Tooney on the left side. And how will the rookies look? Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Lucas Niang, how will they fare in their first NFL action?
I think we're just going to keep building, and they're doing a great job. Creed also getting his playbook a lot, and Patrick knows, so much. So it's been great.
These storylines and much more to look out for as the Chiefs take on the San Francisco 49ers.
Still ahead on our countdown to kickoff of the Chiefs' first preseason game, we take one more look on what we expect out of these guys tonight.
And Patrick Mahomes, already that league MVP and Super Bowl MVP in the short career since coming in 2017, but he's doing a lot more than just winning games. We'll take a look at Mahomes' global impact coming up next. Welcome back. Patrick Mahomes has done some unbelievable things in the NFL since being drafted in 2017. League MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and becoming the $500 million man. He's even bought ownership in Kansas City sports teams. All this helping the Chiefs become a global franchise.
Patrick is iconic, and he's not alone. We think about the other players on our team and their social presence, their personalities. We feel like we are at a very unique, powerful point in our franchise. And there's a responsibility. I talk a lot about being prepared for success. There is a responsibility on an organization to utilize every opportunity to continue to grow. And international is probably one of the biggest lights that's out there for us. The league has done something in the past year. Hopefully it'll be finalized this fourth quarter of this year. It'll give franchises the opportunity to designate countries to be able to market into. And we are going extremely aggressively after that for exactly that reason.
That will just about do us for the countdown to the Chiefs kickoff of the first preseason game. Mitchell Ripperall, a lot to look forward to in this one. Final thoughts before we let the people watch the Chiefs take on the 49ers.
Yeah, I'm really excited just to see how the backups can play tonight, especially Darwin Thompson and Marcus Kemp, like I said earlier, see what they can do.
Those two, but I'm also big on the offensive line. Trey Smith, he may be the steal of the draft. There's a lot of national pundits saying the same thing. 6th round pick. Trey Smith, right guard. He's looked really good at camp. That whole offensive line, brand new. Lucas Niang, Creed Humphrey, a lot of guys look on that line as well. Don't go anywhere. That will do it for us. Kickoff just minutes away. We have the game right here on KQ2. We'll be back on KQ2 News at 10 with highlights and breakdown for the Chiefs and 49ers. Week 1 preseason. Here we go.